Yung first question po, simple lang po, is what is your name and the position in your company?
My name is Milagrosa Russell Ballestar, known as Miles Ballestar, the General Manager and wearing the hat of the Global International Trade Officer.
How old are you po?
Yeah, 47.
How long have you been working in this type of field?
In this type of field, basically I started 2009 in the engineering section or the energy sector. So that's about, so complete na naman tayo. 2024 minus 2009, that's when I met your mom. So 15 years.
15 years po. Ganun din po katagal yung experience po as a manager.
Yes, because basically it's a husband and wife, so we run, and as an entrepreneur, you wear different hat, and basically you're wearing the different hat, managing everything all at once.
What age po did you acquire managerial position? So 15 years ago.
I work as the assistant of an architect, so that was my previous, and that is my leverage, how I was able to handle the business because what I learned in the corporate sector.
Okay po. So, yung next question po is, what personal traits or values do you think are important when working as a manager?
Basically, this is a startup. Way back then, my attitude, probably, or maybe the character is, I always look on the positive side. That what I do know, that there will always be challenges, and I'm always looking for solution when there are. So that basically what fuels me.
Okay po. And can you tell us like a brief background po of your organization? Like,
Basically, it's out of survival mode because way back then my husband used to be part of another company, but it didn't go well. So instead of partnering with others, we just help each other out. And then, that's why we said, might as well put up our own business and see what it happens. So it's like really taking risks of venturing into something new that you look into it that it might work or it might not, but then as husband and wife, we'll just go for it and see what happens.
so first time niyo din po ba na parang first business niyo po ng husband niyo po ito?
Well, between the husband and wife, it's our first venture together. But prior to that, as I mentioned, he was part of another business entity where he is one of the shareholders. And also with me, I have my own business, doing my own thing. But both of us a similarity. We don't work with our partners. So might as well, okay, if we were able to do it with the rest, why not as well partner with each other? So it's like another child to us way back then when we treat it.
So big risk din po talaga
Yes.
starting another business. What specific area do you specialize in? Like, ano po yung siguro yung forte niyo po?
Siguro it's more on, I always integrate my academic. I'm an academic person. So meaning if I don't know what to do, I don't listen to people, but I go back to books. And then whatever I learn and how I interpret it, I try to replicate it in the actual setting. In a strategy that I know it will work well. Because not all that you read in the books can really be applicable.
Yes.
So I'm trying to navigate how it can fit in to the entity or to the group.
Mga strategies niyo for planning effectively?
Basically, I'm gearing towards what is the goal of my husband. As an engineering, there's a pain of our client that we want to address. And I start from there. Strategy in terms of managing it, like what is the pain being experienced by our target market. And from there, we focus on how we could help to be able to provide a solution to that pain. So it's a game of how to make the pain a certain game. And for that, we were able to formulate strategy gearing to that direction. Because if you're helping other people, they will not forget you. Your strategy must be focused on your market.
Yes.
Because your market, your client, your customer is the one that you're serving. So whatever is the strategy that you want to formulate or adapt, it must be always geared to your target market. And if you're addressing the problem of your target market, then that is how we formulate the formula. We stick to that pain and convert that pain to gain so that when we help them solving this problem, because as you know, our background of product is more on the energy.
Yeah.
So since we're dealing with something that is not common to people, so then therefore we really have to customize our service depends on the need of our client.
You describe the organization structure. Paano po karami na po yung mga employees?
As of now, we have about 10 because we want to scale up. But we need to transfer the knowledge that we know with people. So basically, the organization is composed of the engineering department and the admin. The admin is already the accounting, the purchasing, the sales, and everything. And the engineering handles all about the manufacturing, after-sales service, and dealing with the technicality. So these two works together to be able to come up with a team. Now, with the team is, we've experienced challenges of the in and out because we have to transfer the knowledge of the expertise. Even though we want to grow so big, but since it's a very niche market, there are challenges of acquiring people that really can adapt to the corporate governance.
Ano naman po madadescribe yung line of communication considering your organization structure?
Yes, it's also a challenge, but it is also one of our strengths. We try to avoid micromanaging, so we're more on delegation. So in terms of communication, there's a line or protocol. What is the responsibility? There's a manual or an understanding that when an employee onboard to us, it's part of their entry who is the direct person responsible to them. So that they know what are the things that they needed to be done or what are the responsibility entails to their possession. If it's clear in the beginning, so they know who is their superior, who is their subordinates, who are their tasks, and it's easy for them to navigate. When suddenly, nahihilo na sila, they can easily go to their contact. And I practice shadowing, like recreating you. Because whatever is the position, like for me, whatever is my position, my assistant is my shadow. And my assistant has a shadow, which is another person. Whatever you do, whatever knowledge you know, should be passed on. So you play on the transfer of knowledge using the shadowing effect. If you don't know that, then you will be gauged. Baka hindi ka na-fit sa amin kasi hindi mo ma-adapt mo.
Hindi ko na nakakag-adjust.
Yes,
So, I get
and
it.
we do that. Na parang we take time. It's challenging, but we do have those that come in and they say, no, you're not a fit to us because you could not adapt. Yeah, that's a crisis in human capital.
So, yung sa pag-shadow po, I'm assuming ito din po one of the qualifications din po for staffing.
Yes, definitely. I'm practicing the human capital management because the human capital management it has a certain manual. Now, the difference is in a big corporate, it's easy. But in a startup like me, or we're classified as medium, small, MS, medium scale and small, medium, confusing SME and then MSE. How to do that is we try to scale down na, I have only 10 employees. So, the transfer knowledge must be implemented based on the chain of command.
Ay, hinahanap po ba kayong value?
Actually, it's more on the one that you said, they call it or the term, it's the corporate governance. Meaning, corporate governance is what is the value of your organization, and then to be able, we're really not particular on you come in here and you're very skillful.
Yes.
We're more on you come here, whatever knowledge you have, and then we train you. And then we transfer you the knowledge. And then when we transfer that knowledge, we try to embed to you what is the corporate governance, or another term that we call it, or I try to practice them, is what is the corporate culture. Who, of course, we really instill the value.
Na kukuha agad yung knowledge. May mga solutions po ba kayo doon? Or like, how did you overcome them?
Well, it will boil down to the contracts and negotiations. So, like, I partner with a strategic third party that will provide me the needed human capital or person that I need to be in the team. And in that contract, it must be stipulated that in the event, in the period that it was not accumulated, the third party is responsible to replace that. Also, that's also one of my strategy. I should be active, or I must be active in a business community because I could easily tap people that are legitimate that sooner or later will provide the needed. So them, not because you need something now, but I know in the future I'll be needing you. Because human interaction or in business, you have to build first your relationship with them. It's here to talk to that when you're, okay, I need this. Kasi yun nga siya sa dami ng client nila.
Opo. Have to have connections din po. No?
Yes, you know.
Meron naman po sa leadership experience po. So, what have you learned from working as a leader in a manufacturing industry po?
Know your weaknesses.
Mm.
Because it is when you realize what is lacking what needs improvement, then you can be better. You have to learn how to look at it that you made a mistake quickly so that you can recover. And you can navigate and then turn it into something. So we call it, when you fail and you realize it, fail fast.
Tama po. Fail fast. I like that. Oh, yung next question ko po is, how do you reward successful workers or employees po?
We try to, yung mga kids nila, like, is to be able to have them, I have them that I put them in scholarship, that, because it needs to be sustainable. Because not all companies are paying their SSS, the Philippine, and by the time that your employee needs it, hindi sila mahihirapan that they can really avail it. Hindi lang basta ayuda.
Yes po. Is, what would you do if a part of the manufacturing process becomes disrupted po?
Yes, there is. But the thing is, we're more of a proactive. We instill the R&D in the engineering or in the manufacturing. The R&D is a research and development, wherein my husband comes up with the different parts and components that he thinks work. So me, he will tell it to me that you bring it here in Philippines, this might be good for our product. And in the research development, it's a proactive because you do the trial. And there are so many those product that it didn't work. You go back to the drawing board because it doesn't work. Non-stop R&D, and then once it's approved or been tested, then it will go as one of the components of the main products. And in that sense, we were able to minimize errors kasi in manufacturing, when an error occurs, it will cost you much eh. So dapat may tinatawag na engineering economics that when you put up a cost in a product, dapat yung error mo dyan nasa between 5 to 10% lang yung margin na ma-accumulate niyang amount na mali. So, to be able to mitigate that, you enhance your research and development. Doon mo na lahat ng trial, testing, doon siya. So, what we do is, whatever is the annual income of the company, we allocate about 5 or 10% of the fundings to the R&D. And then the R&D can, okay, sige, paglaruan mo yan.
Opo, para ma-adjust.
Yes.
Okay po. So, what do you tend to value more? Individual or team processes?
I'm more on the team process, but it's a collaborative because you have to enhance the skill of the individual or him to be equipped to collaborate with the team. Sa third party. The moment that he put a person to us, dapat nakapit in siya dun sa requirements or the personality that we're looking for. So kung fit siya, then we check it on the onboarding. Pag okay na sa individual, then he can enhance with the team. A group of 10 to 15 people, delegation is a key to be able for us to handle the different tasks. And hopefully, we could scale it up. But for the meantime, if we want to have, let's say, the 300 KBA, we want to make, in the next month, kung mag-scale up, maging, at least makapagbenta kami ng 5, it means that I have to come up with the 20 people. So, ganun yun eh. It's a number, it's a statistics. Right now, we can do 4 at a time or 5 at a time. If we want to produce more or make sales more, it's either you push on the people, the team, kaya ba nila, or you add more people para you can meet the demand of the client.
You value the team processes more than the individual. How would you use your authority for the company's development, especially since kayo nga po yung nag-handle ng administration?
But we try not to put it in an authoritarian, but we like to create a collaborative person, me and my husband. The team knows that we collaborate. So whatever decision that we come up, that's the task of the engineering, that is the task of the admin. When we delegate those tasks, then the people or the team knows how to work well. They know what is their contribution needed for them to come up, because at the end, I have to make them understand, specifically in the admin, accounts receivables and account payables works well.
Yeah.
Now, if these two doesn't go in balance, once something is failing, we can easily pinpoint who is responsible to it. So you really have to balance it. When it's not in balance, you have to make to pok the pressure na, hey, you have to do something because otherwise the operation will not work. Yes.
The product po that you make.
Well, basically, you can see that. I don't remember sure not everybody knows it. Our product in the manufacturing is, we're in the energy, so we're voltage regulator, we're UPS. But what we do is, the problem in Philippines, the parts and components in terms of engineering on the power sector is not available here. So you really have to find, wherever in the part of the world, we can find the materials that is fit to be able to solve the problem of the power sector or the elevator. Those equipment or machineries will not work well. Magagalit ka sa Honda but di ka makasakay sa elevator. It's because nasira siya. Because a fluctuation comes in. So meaning, kung ang katawan ng tao is into blood type, sa kuryente, ang mga machine, they have a certain voltage. So tumatakbo sila because of the voltage. And it needs to be in a regular mode. Now, pag hindi siya regular, Meralco comes in with a very drastic up and down, it will destroy the machine. So it will destroy the elevator. So what happened? This is Meralco, this is the machine, eto kami sa gitna. Para kaming sala. Sasalain namin yung binibigay na power para pagpunta sa makina, it's smooth. You cannot say to the patient, i-on-off mo yan, di patay yung pasyente. I have to be better in providing the products. Because when you provide better products, your competitor will provide also better, so you raise the bar. Hindi na tayo cheap. Once you're in business, one key point that I strike is never replace a good supplier. So once you put yourself as a good supplier, the company or your client will not easily replace you.
Short story about how you resolved a past problem on the job po.
In an island, logistic talaga ang pinaka-problema. Remember my initial conversation with you when you asked me, what is the character that I think will gauge me to be able to put up the business? It's always transferring some problems, pain, to a positive. So, from pain to gain. So, during the pandemic, when nobody can be able to provide the needed AVR and UPS, we were the only one that can provide it. So, for every problems or challenges, we turn it into positive and marginalize it, that situation. We're the one that you can trust, that able to provide it. And then, logistically wise, since mahirap ang pagtatrabaho, we make sure that we can deliver. And we are in partner. Bago ko magawa sila, we have to check the back door. So bago ko mag-commit ng delivery, although there are delays, I try to manage the expectation of my client that yes, if you're going to trust me, I can deliver it. I might be late, but make sure that I guarantee that I can deliver it. Then because of that, we're being passed on from another business entity when they encounter the same problem. Parang, so si Ayatay, masasolve yan, then bigay mo dyan. So parang that's the narrative that we want to send.
So, marami pong iba't ibang factors na nakaka-apekto po ng process nyo sa yung ion tech po, yung power stuff. Pero ano po yung parang, siguro yung main factor po na nakaka-apekto po?
Well, right now, since we're trying to do the cross-border, that's one also of the challenges. And that's the reason why I took the international business law. Because remember I said, you have to know your weaknesses and then try to accept what is wrong with you and how you can do it. So when there's an international brand that we're handling, we paid it in full, and then it comes to Philippines, it's not working. How can you complain and your supplier is an Italian? So that's when I go to books and I learn it falls under the lemon law. And I have to navigate that. I want to fight my supplier, but I don't want to fight it in a way na maghihiwalay na kami. But I just want them to address the issue. That they understand that the quality that they have given me is not of what we agreed in the papers. So addressing the issue to my supplier. And in that sense, you really have to skill yourself and master certain skill in contracts and negotiation, how to fight with your supplier, but not fighting na mag-aaway kayo, but just fight for what you know is right under the terms and conditions you sign. I was able to compose a letter that I could voice out the problems that I encountered, and good thing they replaced it with a new one. It's challenging kasi it's a cross-border. And can you imagine a developing country, you are the client of the Italian company. But in the negotiation, sometimes happens, matatawa ka, teka lang, ako kliyente, ba't parang akong inutusan mo? So, you really have to learn na, teka lang, ako kliyente nyo ako nagbayad. Supplier kita, I'm supposed, kasi tayo diba, we're people pleaser. So, but in cross-border, there's so much potential. In so much potential, there are so challenges. Pero kung hindi mo i-grab yung challenges, kaya nga siya mahal. So, when you put a business to those young minds, you have to find your market. Are you a cheap one or you're the expensive one? There's a reason why you're expensive because you have more challenges. So when there are more zero in the numbers that you're selling, be ready that there are more high risks.
I find it really interesting po na you're working with your husband po because not everyone can do that. Kasi po parang minimix niyo po yung business.
That's the reason why yung second pa, siya yung sa first one.
Ano po yung mga natutunan niyo po, like working along with your husband po?
Siguro, it helps that I have a psychology background. It's a wire in the brain. That when you are at work, you really have to switch the brain. That they, ano man yung away, we try to find the middle ground. Pag hindi pa, sige, maghiwalay mo tayo. Second floor ka muna. But, it's interesting because how I look at supplier and client is also a marriage. Like, when I talk to my client, I treat them, when you choose me, it's a marriage. Porket may nangyari hindi maganda, mag-aaway, mag-divorce na tayo. Tama sa product, let's talk about it. Same with marriage. When you have a problem, hindi yung divorce na, pag-usapan natin. And you try to find the middle ground. And kung hindi man na the middle ground, you have to learn how to dissect. I said, remember, always find a solution. There will be problem. And try to map the brain of your client. Not your client. It's the KYC. When you know how to talk to your client, kung ano man yung dumating na problema doon sa product, hindi yan parang inanad ka na niya. Of course, there will be some. But then, it's marriage. You have chosen me as your supplier. Then we deal. It's a commitment. As the company try to scale up or buy new equipment, they'll be needing more of us. So it's a continuous, it's a long haul. So I interpret the marriage as well there. So what time marriage tayo, sige, once you sign the PO or the invoice, it's a contract that we agree. So mag-away man tayo, okay lang yan. Pero at the end, we try to find something that we are both win-win.
Po ba kayo for like future entrepreneurs wanting to work in manufacturing or may mga like kunwari po for students wanting to pursue business po, may masasabi po ba kayo?
Well, for me actually, I'm really advocating to grow the entrepreneurial skill of the young ones. It's not really for everybody, but I do believe in the development of that. We have that innate ability of taking risks, and we do have innate ability of adventuring. And then therefore, for the young ones, better as well try their luck, find their passion, and then find what they are good at. Try to come up with a business of their own. Go and venture for a startup. Try it on your own, establish it because it's playing the risk. It's not for everybody, but it is something that the country needs.
Okay po. That's all of my questions for the interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you also. It's a breather.
Thank you.